Hi everyone, my name is Itamar. I'm from BrightData. I'm the director of data product in Bright. And today we are going to speak mostly about how to master web data collection. I know that you came for a slightly different thing for NLP and maybe train AIs. But today we're going to speak, I guess, on the first thing that you need in order to train any kind of AI or any kind of NLP that I guess you are all aware but never really thought about it. Do you have any idea, without reading it, you're cheating, do you have any idea what is the largest database in the world? Without reading it, guys, don't read it. It's cheating it.
It's too late.
It's too late. So what is the biggest database in the world? No. The internet. So the internet is really the biggest database in the world, and we in Bright collect data from the internet, publicly available data. As you can see from this graph, that in 2010, there were just 2 zettabytes. It's a lot of zeros. Check it in Google, a lot of zeros of data. And in 2025, we're going to talk about 181. What was the time that COVID started? 2019, something like that? March?
I think the first case was December
2019. So look at the numbers. Look how it's growing since then, because a lot more people are using the internet. They cannot do it any other way. So of course, by doing that, and a lot more people are buying from e-commerce website, etc. So it's just making everything bigger. 2 weeks ago, I was super excited. You don't even understand how excited I was when the CEO of my company sent me this. The Warner Vogels, I guess that not a lot of people know who this guy is. So he's the CTO of Amazon. Like Amazon is like maybe the biggest company in the world today. He posted in Twitter a tweet about Why Kilcher. Maybe some of you know him. So he's someone that we collaborate with him. And this guy created a video of how to collect data from the internet. And then with the data that he collected, he trained, I will show you what he trained in a second, but he trained a model to create something really, really amazing. And he was so impressed that he had a tweet about us and this guy. So I'm going to talk about what this guy did for us. And I guess that all of you know these monkeys, right? And the most interesting things about these monkeys is that none of them here really exist. All of them are new monkeys that were created automatically by a machine. But after someone, White Klitcher in this example, collected all of the monkeys that exist in one website and then created a model to create them. So really fast. He did it by going to this website. Here you can buy all of these monkeys. Now, I guess that this thing is not really working this well. I know it's like decreasing in popularity, but still, he collected all of these images without technology. And he did it by using something that we are calling an ID. So we have like a system that with simple JavaScript, we can scrape any website. We can unblock any website as well, because site will block you if you do it in scale. He downloaded the image as well with our system. We are downloading the images and sending it to the customer service. It can be to Amazon S3 bucket or to Google Drive. And then he created this thing. It's a very funny video, by the way. You need to look at it. And I don't know a lot about how to train AI. Maybe you know better than I. But he said something about training the gun. This is a gun. What is a gun is? I don't know if I have like a laser or something here, but so this is a gun, a generative adversarial network in class of machine learning frameworks. And after he trained it a bit, he taught me something that I didn't know, that in this thing, we need to be as low as possible. In most of the graph that we are looking at life, we need to be as high as possible. But if you are getting here, you're doing good. And here he did something bad when he tried to train it. And the result of the training was that this was the result. As you can see, it's not good. No one can understand what's going on here. So we keep training it more and more. After a few steps, he got this thing. So you're starting to see monkeys. It's not really like a good one, but still you're starting to see something. And after he went to step 9,000, we are starting to see real monkeys here. I guess that our presentation will be sent later on. So if you have some time, first look at the video. It's a funny video. It's talking about things in a really hilarious way and a good way. And second, if you want to create your own monkeys, click on this thing, and then a monkey will be created with the AI that he created. Now, a bit about BrightData. The reason that we invented the data collector product is because most of the companies that we are working with today, we're working with more than 15,000 companies. 7 out of the 10 biggest e-commerce companies in the world are working with us. A lot of Fortune 500 companies are working with us, and also smaller customers, but still all of them has the same problem. First problem is that sites are keep getting changed. So when you want to download something in order to create a structure, a data set in order to train your model, you can do it today, and maybe later on the site will change, and then it will stop working. So we are helping you with this part. Second thing is that when you're trying to do that in scale, you will get so many issues along the way that you will just say, I don't want to do it anymore. One of the things is a blocking issue, and we have two kinds of blocking issues. We have a hard block and a soft block. Hard block, no block is good, but it's better than a soft block, because when we're talking about hard block, at least you know that you are blocked, like seeing a captcha, and then you can solve it, or you're seeing some kind of error saying, I know that you're a bot, stop. And you can do something about it. And this is what we are doing. We are doing something about it. We have the best technology in the world to unblock websites. The second thing is a soft block, specifically in travel industry, and also with some other industries. You will just see bad data. And this is even worse because you don't know that you are getting bad data. Just one example of it, think about yourself trying to buy a flight ticket. And then you're saying that it costs $50 when in reality, it costs $20. So this is maybe because he detects you as a bot. So he's lying to you until you really try to buy a flight ticket. And the last thing, it's resource heavy. You need a lot of people to do that just to collect the data. And I guess you all understand that we are living in a time that you need to do things fast and you need to focus because there are a lot of things to do. So when you're focusing on training your AI or NLP, I hope that you'll want to outsource the part that is hard, but I guess in the end, everyone will get it. It's the data itself, so you can outsource it to us and we'll just collect the data for you. I don't know if you know that, but if you want to collect, as an example, 20,000 products, and you have just 2 browsers, and let's say that it will take you 10 seconds to collect it, it will take you 27 hours. It's a lot of time. And no one wants to collect 20,000 something. It's nothing. You want to collect millions. So then you need a large infrastructure, a huge infrastructure in order to do that. And we are doing that on a daily basis. A bit about what we are doing. So everyone that collects data today, in order to do something, have like 3 options or 3 states to the pyramid. So one of them is server and crawler code. When you are writing your crawler, your scraper, or however you want to call it. On top of it, you have proxy. We invented something called residential proxy, by the way. This is our patent. We are doing it in a way that we have more than 72 million IPs all around the world that we can use in order to collect data from. So when you're collecting data, the data is like real data, as someone from the US is trying to collect it, or trying to see it as a customer. On top of it, we are unblocking any website and parsing it and interacting with it in order to give you the right one. So this is what the data collector do. This is part of our popular use cases. So if it's something that you're doing, we can talk about it later. We have 2 guys here from Bright that you can talk with them as well. This is part of the data sets that the customers are collecting with us. And a bit about what we are doing. One sentence, imagine Instagram. All of you know what Instagram is. This is a page, a regular page, and it's unstructured. And imagine that you have some millions of other layouts and pages that you also need to structure. So we are taking this and creating a data set out of it. So in this example, we are taking the profile picture, post, followers, info, etc. By the way, we're also downloading images and sending it to you. So if it's something that you need, we are doing it. How we are doing it? Behind the scene, we have an IDE that everyone can join a Bright after it, sign up, and just do it yourself. So we are writing a code in JavaScript. What you're seeing here in this part is like a real page that's running in the background. We are creating a browser. We are clicking on a lot of objects, interacting in a page in a specific way that you, the customer, are telling us to do. And in the end, after we are getting to the right page, to the right screen that we want to collect data from, we are using the parser code in order to say, I want this, this, and that in this specific structure. And then we are creating the data set. This is just one line. We are doing it like millions of times for every website. And we are delivering to you in multiple ways: JSON, CSV, MD-JSON, Excel, and to any kind of storages. It can be Amazon S3 bucket, Google Cloud Storage, Azure, FTP, API, Webhook. I forget something? No, I think so. And this is the end result, a data set in CSV in this case. We can do it also in JSON, etc. So we created a lot of function to make your life a bit easier. So if you want to do it yourself, there are tons of function here, like hover on top of element, navigate, use different IPs from different websites, from different countries, click on it, super easy. And if you don't want to do it, we can do it for you. The thing that we will give you in return is first a schema. So if you want to collect the same data from multiple websites, just tell us what's the schema for all of these websites. So just one example for it, let's say that you want to collect data from e-commerce website. So it doesn't really matter if you collect it for Amazon, eBay, Walmart, whatever. You will always want to collect title, prices, maybe reviews, all of these kind of things. So this is a schema that will be relevant to all websites, and then you'll have just one structured database that you can use for your own purposes. On top of it, we are doing data validation. We are checking that the data is not just in the right structure, but also the data itself is correct. So let's say that you want to collect price, we will check that the price is really price and not something else, or that it exists and not something else. And on top of everything, you have our control panel dashboard that you can look at all of the collectors that you have that are installed on your account and what's going on with them. Look at the statistics, look what's going on now, if now we are collecting something or not, etc. And it's not doing anything. Can you click on it, maybe? Yeah, we're getting to the fun part. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, thanks. So this is the fun part. So I guess that everyone knows this guy. He's kind of famous, right? So, so this is Elon Musk. From the crowd said that he's a troublemaker for the ones that are at home or at office. So we did a collaboration with Toloka to try to do something really, really nice. It's sentiment analysis, meaning that we collected the data, all of these tweets, and then we send it automatically from the system to Toloka that did a sentiment analysis on all of these tweets to say if it's positive, neutral, or negative. This is our CP, control panel. I can't show it to you because it's not for my computer, but register to BrightData later on, talk to me, talk to any one of our guys, Daniel. And you see, raise your hand, so you can talk with both guys here. They can help you sign up and create your own CPs. So we created the CP. Just before I started, like 2 minutes ago, I ran it again just to see what's going on. And I saw that this is a tweet from yesterday. He's today, I guess, so almost, yeah. So he's saying that YouTube seemed to be a non-stop scam ads. This is maybe his latest post, his latest tweet. It's from Tuesday, June 7, 3:32. He got 49,000 replies, 42,000 retweets, and 532,000 likes. About YouTube seems to be non-stop scam ads. So super famous, and he's doing a lot of things. And what we are doing for companies that are collecting social data in this case is helping them collect all of the data, also on specific tweets, like to see more data about replies, retweets, and likes. And in this case, we send it to Toloka that created a nice project to connect between our way of sending the data, in this case a webhook, to their system. Their system got it. And then, David, if you want to say something, please do. And then he created like two things here. First is a test to give to their labelers to see if they are doing correctly, like if they're doing right and if they are good for the job. And after they pass the test, they give them the real test of doing the sentiment analysis. And this is what you're seeing here. And for this X tweet that we collected, we found out this, that between the 26 in May to June 3rd of June, 4 tweets were negative, 18 was neutral, and 11 was positive. And from then it got a lot more negative with the YouTube scam and stuff. Yes, sir. Automatic, their tags? Automatic by their labelers, meaning the process itself is automatic, but someone looked at it and saying if it's like negative, yeah.
Is it manual tagging? First question, and the other one is there is some correlation between the manual tagging and the likes, retweets, and sharing that it must be. Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a good question, actually. The tagging that you're seeing here is actually manual. We wanted to show the statistics. We didn't show the correlation. I'm sure there probably is, but we also have one of our models, and we will show it in the end. So you will have something nice to stay for. We will show actually a model that ran on 56 million tweets. And when you give it a new tweet, it can decide whether it's neutral, positive, or negative. So I'm sure there is correlation. We just haven't checked it. But that would be a good follow-up with you, maybe. Thank you.
What does the system do with sarcasm? For example, like the Morbius movie, when everyone says it's the best. But so what would the system say here? Is it positive, negative? When the tweet is positive, but the meaning is negative.
Like somebody in the crowd says, it depends on the model. But ultimately, I think that the one that we trained is pretty, say, like childish, maybe like naive. So it will give you it won't detect sarcasm, but I'm sure you can train a model to go even further and also detect sarcasm.
So this is just one collaboration that we can do with Toloka, and we can do any other thing that is connected to giving task to someone that will look at the data and do something with it. If you're interested in collecting web data and then doing whatever you want with it, I guess that all of you are from different companies and all of you are doing different things with the data that we collecting. So one model is doing it yourself, like I showed before with the IDE. Just write your own code in JavaScript and do whatever you want with it. The second part, if you don't want to do it, and most of our customers don't want to do it with it, they want us to handle all of these things. You can just go to our control panel, request a collector, tell us exactly what you need, give a project a name, tell us from what website you want to collect, exactly what to collect for. And immediately after, you will see this tracker. The motivation, or we thought about Domino's Pizza, they did it first. When someone is ordering a pizza, you're saying like a tracker to see what's going on with your pizza. Someone looked at it, now it's in baking, someone is doing something, it's delivering, etc. So it's exactly that. After you're asking it, you will see a tracker to say it's in development, it's ready to test, you can test it. And also if it's pending approval. When it's pending approval, you are looking at the data itself, at the JSON in this case, and you're saying if you want to improve it or say that something is wrong and we still need to fix it, and then we will, and then we'll send it again to approval. And after you're done, you have your own collector that you can run in any scale and to collect any kind of web data. So this is the time the questions, and someone wrote something in the audience, so maybe you want to show it.
Does the labeling you do, it's a property of the company who orders it, or it can go to?
To answer to the same question. So first of all, we in Bright are just collecting the data, and we are creating a collector that is relevant specific for you, and then the data is yours. We are sending it to you.
The requester belongs to the requester, so we don't use it in any way. We're not allowed.
You can't like resend it or
No,
redistribute it.
It only belongs to the requester, and we would just facilitate and give the best tools in order to get the best quality out of this data.
So you like do it twice or more if necessary, the same job.
You mean the labelers?
Yeah.
Actually, we usually do planning for every use case. One of the biggest steps, one of the first is the composition of the task. So you can break it for like a big task, you can break to several different tasks, and that actually ensures that the quality that you get is, I guess, like the higher that you can probably get. So we have actually, yes. So we what? Yes, sir. This is, by the way, just let me introduce you. So this is Olga. She's our CEO and founder, and she will answer the question.
Thank you, and that's why I just cannot be silent. Sorry for that. So the answer about like all the data labeled on Toloka belongs to the requester. The second part, what do we like kind of resell or do repeated tasks? There are two parts. First of all, when we see repeating trends, we create some templates which can be reused by different requesters to easify for every next requester the step in. But at the same time, in general, what we see is in reality, almost never you would find two repeating cases. Every requester has some specialities, some particular cases they want to fine-tune for themselves, and that's why like it's really, we would be happy if we could standardize everything, but unfortunately we don't see it possible, and that's why like every day on Toloka there are more than 1,000 different projects running, and probably our life would be easier if there were like 2 or 3 of standardized cases, but in reality there are thousands. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hi. So, is there any way to make sure that the people providing the labels are qualified to do so? And what other quality assurances are there?
Yes, thank you for the question. So actually, Itamar mentioned it earlier. He showed our interface, and one step, which is prior to the relabeling, is doing test, doing training first of all, then exam, and assigning skills to people. So only people who pass the exam in a certain like trench or bars, they are allowed to do real tasks. So this is one, I say, one of the ways to make sure that the people are qualified. But there are also other quality control rules that we incorporate inside Toloka that can also contribute to the quality of the project and all the people using it. Thank you. Yes, sorry.
What does your name mean? If there is some meaning to your name. Is there a meaning to your name? What's the meaning of your name?
Okay, so Toloka, so the question was, does Toloka mean something? And for this, I would like our CEO to answer the question.
I just wanted a photo opportunity.
Thank you. So yeah, that's one of our favorite stories because the name Toloka, actually the word comes from Belarusian and Ukrainian language. This is a name of the ancient tradition when people used to gather together to do some common job, which is impossible to do by a single person, such as do the harvesting or join together to build a bridge or a church for the village or something like that. And our developers from Minsk, they have chosen this name. Later, we had several attempts for renaming to choose a more global name or something. And every time we came up with the understanding that nothing is better reflecting what we do than the word Toloka, because it's a good allegory of the crowdsourcing.
So, Itamar, thank you so much for a really interesting presentation. And I encourage people. I encourage people to go and try the monkeys, and we will send later the links.